Hello and welcome to Brushstrokes by Kim, and this is another demonstration of me making an acrylic painting. So here I started out with a thin layer of pink paint, and I mixed this paint with some red that I had and a tiny bit of like a yellow ochre color to get this sort of warm pink color. And then I'm going in with two colors of paint on my paintbrush, and I made these two circles so far. So with these abstract paintings, I like making large forms, and I pause and think about placement and the different shapes that I want to use. Also, like when there is some blending of the colors underneath. The pink layer is dry. I did that before I started painting this second layer. So I'm using a bit more colors than usual in this painting. I kind of like to use not too many colors. I ended up using about 5 colors in this painting, but in the end I did like the result. Okay. So yes, I'm adding some streaks here. I really love how sometimes adding white can really add a sense of dimension or shine, or like something is floating, because it's like a highlight almost. I mean, this isn't bright white, this is more of a, I guess, cream, but when you combine it with other colors, it can look like a highlight. You can also see that on those circles that I did, the first 2 circles. So just thinking, and here I've added blue, and at this point I was kind of like, oh my gosh, is this a mistake? But I was like, I'm already here, I'm going to continue. And then I'm adding some highlight to those blue to make them look a bit 3-dimensional. Yes, and the curve of the blue shapes reminded me of a necklace. So I decided to sort of make like some sort of necklace, like a 3D looking, like floating in space. Okay. Yes, adding, see that this is where I've added the, I guess, necklace links. And added another piece. So it sort of looks like a necklace floating in space. I mean, yes, I have these curvy lines that look like backwards 3s, I guess. And it sort of still adds to the necklace look of it. And now I'm adding a green border because I find that I like adding borders to things sometimes. I struggled a bit with this painting. I left it without the border for a few days. And then I thought of adding a border because sometimes adding a border can make a piece look more cohesive. And I don't know, this is just something I like to do sometimes. I don't do it all the time, but yes, I'm adding a border here. And at first I thought I was going to be done with this painting, but then once I added the border, I felt inspired to paint more onto this painting. So yeah, I really like how this came out. So yeah, I added the border, and then I'm thinking more like, okay, I want to add more. I'm not done with this. Okay. And I'm adding some lines on the interior of the, I guess, frame. I really love the kind of spatial quality of this painting, so I decided to add to that by adding curved lines, almost like a net. So yeah, I'm just thinking about what I wanted to do next. Yeah, see, I'm adding another line. Adding to that net, like feeling, giving it like a spatial quality. Okay, so this is where I thought I was done. So I had painted in my signature, but I actually came back to it later that day and added some gold paint. I really like this gold paint. It is not just gold in color, but it's like a metallic paint, so it has a reflective surface. Yeah, and I envisioned like these cross hatches when I was thinking about what I wanted to do, and then it reminded me of sewing, so that's why I'm doing like a stitching line across the canvas. Yeah. And yeah, so then I realized it's cut off. Oops. I'm adding a little more, extending out this cross hatching over my border that I created. And now I'm going to do a little bit more in this corner. It just reminds me of repair when I see cross hatching. You know, it just reminds me of sewing and repairing and mending things. Okay. So now I'm thinking about what I want to do. I still want to add more, so I'm echoing the circles that I made earlier and doing them in the gold paint. And then I continue to make more circles and doing some solid circles here. And then I decided to do a large filled in gold circle. Just, I don't know, because it reminded me of the sun, or like, I forgot what it's called, but there's like the thing in the middle of an arch that holds the arch up. I forgot, it's an architecture term, but that's what that reminded me of. And I just felt like putting it there. And now I'm adding more gold to the border, because it felt like it needed something to bring it all together. And that's that. This is the final painting. This is the finished painting, and I'm really happy with it. Yes, I'll think of a name for it later on, but I'm really happy with it. Okay, so for more art, you can visit my website, kimberlyferguson.net, or my Instagram @brushstrokes by Kim. Thank you for watching.